Hello, welcome to this video. So today I'm going to show you my first game of the club season. The first game is a bit of a special game because normally the system has the pairing system, but our tournament leader always decides the first evening. It's a bit unpredictable who is going to show up. Normally you have to email or app if you don't show up. So the first evening the pairing is by hand. So for example, the first player is going to play against player 20, the second player against player 21, and so on. So this means you're going to play against a much stronger player or a much weaker player. And then after the first evening, we use the regular pairing. So yeah, that's kind of fun. So this game, yeah, my opponent is unrated because he's a new member. So that's very nice to have some new members at the club. I had no idea how weak or strong he was because I don't know him. He only played a bit online. I assumed he was weaker, but I'm also not that strong, so you never know. So yes, let's dive right into the game. We played e4. We had our typical Caro-Kann, of course. So yeah, we got the classical. And I was aiming to get into the Tower, but then he played bishop d3. And I was a bit out of book. I thought I knew the theory here, but it turns out I already made a mistake. It's not a real mistake, but I was convinced that playing this and then rerouting the knight, I was convinced that this was the theory. But I couldn't find it afterwards in the course, so I made a thinking mistake. But what I totally missed is that the d4 pawn is hanging. So I could just take here and then something like this. And black is a pawn up. So I totally missed that. But yeah, just so I forgot to look at the tactical elements in the position. I was too focused on theory. So that's something I have to work on. But okay, this is also fine for black, of course. For a brief moment I was thinking, like here, I was thinking maybe ideas of b5 and developing the bishop to b7 was better. Because, yeah, giving the bishop pair up after h3 at some point might not be very good for me. Especially not in an endgame. But of course, white also loses his bishop in that case. So I can still castle queenside and work on the h-file. Let's see, for example, this is actually better for, yeah, if this was happened, I could just trade the bishop so I don't lose the bishop pair. But he made the mistake. It's inaccuracy, so c3 was best. I really did not understand the idea behind this move. So maybe he was planning to play bishop g5 and then if he takes my knight I cannot take with the e-pawn. But that's not possible at the moment here. Because yeah, white's pawn is still hanging here. I took, and then this position happened. Here I had actually a very long think, because I don't actually know how strong my opponent is, or weak. And retreating to d8 seemed a bit passive to me. I thought queen b6 was an option. But then again, that's also a bit far away from the king side, where white wants to create some counterplay. I also thought bishop g5 for white might be annoying, because then I cannot play e6 that easy. In hindsight, it turns out that's not the case. So yeah, I can show you if I had played, for example, queen d8, then bishop g5. I can play this. I have this, then this. I have no problems here. But let's go back. I played this move. I thought trading queens is good for me because I'm a pawn up against a weaker player, but the downside is that it's not that easy to convert if you're only a pawn up with no queens and no real attacking chances anymore. So yeah, that was a bit of a trade-off. That was the reason I was thinking very long. But my reasoning was that my opponent now also has less chance of creating crazy attacks against me. So yeah, I was not sure if this was really the best. So here, white played queen g3. He told me he was afraid, or he saw some ghosts on g2. But of course, here he still protects g2, so I did not quite understand that. Yeah, I took the queen here, played this move, which is fine. I was not really in the mood for white putting his queen on c7. But it turns out white does not have the time for that at the moment, because, for example, if I play this, then this is very good for us. Even this is supposed to be good. But I don't know, that was too complicated for me. So I just took. And here, yes, I was thinking also pretty long. I played h6. Because I saw some ghosts of playing, if white goes bishop g5 and take my knight, then I lose the h7 pawn, but yeah, of course I didn't calculate properly. Let's see if I can, yeah, for example, if I had played this, then I can just play this, and then this is not good. Because I can trap the bishop here with g6. Oh, sorry. But yes, my reasoning was that I'm a pawn up. White has a worse structure. so I have time to calmly develop my pieces, so h6 can't be that bad. So here white castled. Yeah, I was thinking from a human practical perspective, this is a very poor choice on a strategic level. Because I still have the option of castling queenside and try to open the h file. Or some other files on the king side and get a big attack going. So I was very happy to see this. I played e6. I'm just gonna develop here. f3. Yeah, this is a very risky move. White said to me after the game that he was afraid of knight g4, but at the moment I don't have any pieces on the king side, so there's nothing to fear of at the moment. You cannot attack with one piece. I think this was much better. So here, let's go back. I also had a big thing here. I was considering to play bishop d6. Put some pressure on the pawn. White can maybe block with the bishop on f4. But then he risks an even uglier pawn structure. So for example, this is also very bad for white, because I can play knight h5 and white has a lot of weak squares around the king. But yeah, I was bishop c5 was my move. I was already dreaming of mating patterns, and I wanted to make it more difficult for white to put his bishop on e3. So white played king h1. I played h5. I could have castled queenside, but I did not like the idea of white pointing at some point his bishops against my queen side. Since the queens are already from the board, and white is on the defense here, I was not in a hurry to castle. h5 has some juicy ideas of discovered attacks on this file. So this was almost a no-brainer from me. So he played rook e1. Bishop g5 was best, but then I still would have played knight g5. Computer give this variation. Yeah. Don't know who's better here. I think I'm better. But okay, I played knight g5. Of course, white cannot take because I have a discovered attack, and then it's mate. You can block with the bishops, but then I just take the bishops one by one and it's still mate. I must say bishop, let's go back. Bishop f2 was also very tempting, because I forked the rook and the pawn, and then I just win a pawn, and then I still have a very good position and can see what happens from that point. But I feel like this is more tricky for to deal with for white. If white tries to defend with the rook, for example, rook e2, rook f1, then I at least win the exchange. because I threatened to play knight f2 check, win the bishop. So, or win the exchange or a whole light square bishop. Let's check. So white played b4, and for a split second I thought, okay, I just made it way too difficult for myself. And I should have played bishop f2. It's more straightforward. I played bishop b6, so the threat stays the same. I also thought of knight f2. I thought, okay, this is not good because then I lose my knight somehow, but then I can still take this. Then I'm a piece up, but I thought I didn't calculate that properly. I thought my knight was trapped there because my bishop is also hanging. Even this, let's check, queen d1. Yeah, so this is good. No, maybe here it's trapped actually. No, it's not, but it's not that. It's still unclear to me, but let's check. Yes, here instead of knight c1, I could have played this move. So my threat stays the same, but the light square bishop is gone, so that was even better. Turns out there's even a checkmate I didn't see at the time. Goes like this. And then it's a mate. I totally missed this, but okay. I played queen, I played bishop b6. And now white here made the fatal mistake of taking. And now a checkmate is unavoidable. Bishop g6 was best. But the computer gives this. Yeah, well, I'm still better. But here, yeah, I played this and white resigned. You can block what? Yeah, it's checkmate. So, yeah, officially a miniature. Under 20 moves. Kind of a crushing defeat for white, but yeah, still I made some, when I analyze it, I still made some inaccurate decisions. Didn't calculate that well at some point, so yes, even when you win quite an easy game like this, there's a lot to learn. And yeah, it was a nice start of the season, and also, yeah, the new player is a really nice guy. I hope he does well this season, and he's gonna also win some games. And yeah, I'm looking forward to show you more games of my my club season this year. Let me know what you think of it. Please leave a comment or a question, and I'm happy to see you in the next video. Bye bye.